Hey everybody, my name is Daniel Coy. I'm going to be teaching you how to steam a synthetic wig out. I'm sure we've all seen some pretty ratty synthetic wigs. So this one here is basically 11 and a half years old. So she's seen some days. So what I'm doing is I have my industrial steamer. It's my Jiffy steamer with the roller attachment. It's a blessing. It really is. So you'll learn how to use that in this tutorial. So the tools that you will need, first and foremost, is your wig brush, good old wig brush, wide tooth comb, and a fine tooth comb. So those are my three things that I need. The steamer, you're gonna need your wig stand, your wig block, and your wig, of course. So I have already gone ahead and blocked the wig. So I already blocked it, so it is ready and raring. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to section out this back section, because you know with most wigs, this is where everything gets so entangled. So I'm going to section it out. Doing a pretty hefty section for right now. You know, just make sure if you want to follow each track, because it is a wefted back, so you can literally just come in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do this backwards for you so you can see. Maybe if I put it here. So I'm going to brush it out as much as I can to get all the snarls, because this is where it will get matted. This is where all the heat happens on your hair, you know, because it lays in the nape of your neck. So it gets really, really, really heated up because it is synthetic. So it is made out of plastic. So I'm going to take my steamer. I don't know if you can see that it is steaming, but I'm going to put it up here and I'm going to literally melt the hair. Let's see if I can put this in a better spot for you. Gonna steam it totally straight. All the way down, totally straight. So this is like the first go around, okay? So I'm gonna do this first for the whole thing. Because she's older, she's seen some pretty rough days. So the cut is probably a little off. The wefts are probably a little janky, but you know, we're reviving a synthetic wig, you know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here and really steam this out nice and straight. So as you can see, I'm literally making it poker straight. So I'm using the steamer because it's coming right out of this tight little hole, so it's gonna be nice and smooth. So then I'm gonna check and make sure I get all of that. And I know a lot of people with their synthetic wigs is the ends get pretty ratty. So besides giving it a little stiff snip, a little trick that I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my fine tooth comb and I'm going to come in and I'm gonna heat up those ends. I'm really gonna melt them really nicely, and then I'm gonna come in and brush them out. Come in and brush it out. You'll see this a little bit higher too when I get into like the real wig. Go deeper in the wig. So it'll really, and this is what's gonna really save your ends, you know, because I know length is a really big deal for these wigs, you know. And once again, this was like a really inexpensive wig. Like, I'm gonna say maybe 20 bucks. For most of my synthetics, I kind of go, I hate saying this out loud, but like the cheapest version first, and then I go from there. So yeah, I'm gonna section out. Okay, so this wig, she's seen many a day. And she's still making me money. How about that? How about them apples? So I'm sectioning it out. Basically now it's like the front to back. And then we'll kind of clip all that together. So then here I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna use my brush And another good thing about doing it like this is that you can actually see your wig and you can really get in there and like this needs a couple more like adjustments and well, it needs to be a little refurbished. So then I'm gonna come in and really steam this out. Like I'm going right in, all the way in. And you can tell my haircut has been cut for many different styles. This wig has been 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. It has every, yeah. And that's what's really great about synthetic. You can really be pretty rough with it and really get it to do what you want it to do. You just have to know how to work with it. That is like the #1 thing. So I'm coming back through, really getting it nice and straight. And then, well, that's not a perfect spot for it there. Okay, so now I'm gonna come into this one side just so you can start seeing. Maybe I can swing around a little, just so you can see what I'm doing. So I am going to brush it out. Okay, because you see there's curls from the last set that I was in. So I'm gonna brush it out. And this is where I feel you're really gonna see the steam work really hard, you know? Really, come on. There's some knots in it. She's seen some days. She's seen many a day. So I'm really gonna let it just melt it. Can you see that? How it's just totally just melting that fiber. And then from here, I can brush it right out. And this is what I do with every wig. Every synthetic wig that I own, that I rent out, that I make, this is how I set them. So you'll really want to take good care of them because they can last forever. You know, and I'm sure we all have, well, I know I have tons of synthetic hair. You know, and I feel people just think it can only be one set, like one style, you know, the way it was bought. So I want to challenge you there to change it up a lot. So I'm coming through and I'm steaming out all these ends, like going around it. Ready? So it's gonna, so you can kind of see this here and just see how it's letting it loosen up, loosening up. It's just melting it, literally melting. Melt, 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 melt. Totally melting. And as you can see, I'm being pretty rough, you know. Yeah. So you can wash it with Ship Shape. You can either do it before or after. You know, when you wash your wigs, I mean, maybe when you get it first back, you wash it, or, you know, yeah. But you know, summertime, you know, throw on your little synthetic and it will totally be, you know, help you out. So just so you can see more, I'm gonna come here and really see how it's just melting it down. It's just melting it, and then here I can brush it right out. Yeah. So this is how I steam straight a synthetic wig. This is synthetic. It's pretty old, so it's probably not, it's definitely not heat resistant. So yeah. So this could have been a bang at one point in life. So I'm gonna steam it some more and really get those ends. Because really, that's what we see most of the time. You know, when a wig starts getting matted up, it's those ends. So I'm gonna steam most of this out. And then, yeah, she needs to be refurbished a lot. But for now, so now what I do is, like this whole top piece is coming off, but that's okay. But over here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my small comb. I'm really going to heat up this hairline. Really gonna heat it up. I'm really gonna pull all of that hair as straight as possible. Because I really wanna get it nice and smooth. And see, so I'll brush it, steam it, brush it, steam it. You really just want your comb to just glide right through. That's like the key. Like once it's nice and smooth, you can glide it right through. So see how here, there's some more frizz. Well, not frizz, well, there's frizz. So I'm really gonna melt it. And then my comb is gonna do the work for me. It's gonna smooth all those ends out. Once again, this is like before you're gonna put your set in. So before the curls, before your perm rods, before your whatever you're using for your set. This is how I like to start all of my wigs. After they're washed, I'll do this to them, keep them in the ship shape. So I'm gonna come in and really smooth it out. And as you can tell that this wig was not cut to be a straight wig. Nope, not at all. Not at all. So I'm really coming in and smoothing these ends. Smoothing the ends. Even up here, like all these can come back. Let's see, I'm gonna bring it down a little bit more. I know now it's kind of like, oh my gosh, it's going away. So I'll turn it this way. As you can see, my rooted front, my front, literally is maybe a fingernail. Like, maybe a fingernail, you know? So it's all you really need working with synthetics and even human hair. You know, wig hacking is really what's gonna save time and money. Like, I'm all about time. Like, so much time I spend on these wigs, just styling them to make them look good. You know, I wish I could spend, you know, 3-4 days on a wig to make it, you know, but I just don't have that luxury. So that's why I hack them to death. So yeah. So I'm literally steaming it poker straight. Steam, steam, steam. Especially, okay, so she's in a nice spot. I'll bring her back up. But I am gonna just brush her again. Don't forget, so right now she's still a little soft. The fiber is still a little soft from steaming it so much. So I want to make sure I keep brushing it straight. If you were gonna set this in like a side part, this would be the time I would go in. Like if I knew I wanted to put a side part into this wig, this is where I would come in and steam that hair. Bonus, this is where you would steam that in. So I would take this, I would really put in my part now. This is when I would go in and section my part, where I'm gonna put my rollers. So if I put my rollers in this way, or my perm rods, so that the follicle, like the hair is actually melted where I want it to go. You know, and then it's always the hairline, right? That's what we really care about. That's what I really care about. Yep. And then smooth it back. And then what we'll do is after it is all steamed, there are like 4 different techniques that you can use to get it back to an original curl pattern. So we can, like I said, use perm rods, we can use rollers, we can use bendy rods, we can use any of those stuff. So yeah, this is where, like, even here I can go a little more. See how poker straight that is? Like, you can really get it poker straight, like. can really, and another little hack, this would be straight enough for me. If I'm gonna go put in a curl, I would, this is plenty. This is very, very smooth and straight for me. You know, so come here and keep doing some more. So this is great. I'm really excited because I spent basically like a whole day with Marquetta working on some bonus videos for her and for all of you guys for Wig Training 2.0, which I'm quite excited to be a part of. So yeah, so I just wanted to introduce you to the world of synthetic wigs and how to maintain them, how to make them, how to handle them. So yeah, this is how I steam my wigs poker straight. So what you can do is you can sign up for my email list, which would be amazing. And then we can totally start showing you how to roller set it and get it and making it look better than it was before, you know, to make it look more natural, more wavy. So yeah, and just to recap, I used my wig brush. I used my tail comb basically. I didn't really use my wide tooth comb. I remove longer hair, I'll use my wide tooth. My good old industrial Jiffy steamer. They should really be paying me for all this plugging in that I do for them. So yeah, so then I steamed it straight. I took section by section all the way down, and here she is, steamed straight.